everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got a pair of running backs who are hoping for plenty of touches come their way. It's Blunt's Eagles going up against David Johnson's Cardinals.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Ready for football in Arizona as Phil Dawson boots it away. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20. But not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Carry now for Wendell Smallwood. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Smallwood. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. This is Kenyon Barner. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. And the wideout in motion. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. The Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he gets it down to the 32. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. On 1st down, it's Palmer. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They run again with Peterson. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And a movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Adrian Peterson was the intended target. 3rd down here. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On 3rd down, Palmer. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Now on 4th down, Bruce Arians will send out his field goal unit. This from 36 yards out. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the opening drive for him here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So Philadelphia getting ready to take over on offense. And one thing that'll be interesting to track, I know the fans in Philadelphia want to track as the season starts for them, Charles, is what's going to go on in that Philly backfield. What do you think?
You know who else would like to know? Washington. Yeah. Their opponent in game 1. Who are we going to face? You figure to be LeGarrette Blount, Darren Sproles will definitely be suited up. Wendell Smallwood, he took a lot of carries in the preseason, even on the early downs. So I think that he'll get a uniform as well. The last two competing for jerseys, Donnell Pumphrey, who was drafted out of San Diego State, and Corey Clement, the surprise undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin. Will either one of them suit up often this season?
Second down, 9 yards to go. Now Wentz. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make...
And got his man complete. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Elliott now to kick this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board.
And he can't get away from the pressure. Palmer sacked. Michael Kendricks coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. Here's Peterson. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still...
It's a foot race. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. J.J. Nelson, 71 yards. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
They try again with Smallwood. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now Wentz. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cardinal defense comes up with a goal line stand. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Palmer down around his goal line. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And they're going to get this one all the way out to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. And that is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Second and 10. It's Palmer again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught by Nelson left side. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Play action. Now Palmer. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Palmer gets him set. 3rd and long for the Cardinals after the sack. From the gun, it's Palmer. And able to find John Brown. Past the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grab the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves. But I know the coach is going to be talking to them about calming down, taking it easy. We've got a whole second half, but use the way we finished the first one to start the second.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The third quarter starts with a run by Peterson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. 3rd down, it's Adrian Peterson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the defense that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They give it to Peterson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And he motions the wide receiver to throw on 3rd down. Palmer. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They run. Peterson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Adrian Peterson. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. Going right back to Smallwood. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, 65 yards. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth there.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to have really good good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down.
Now a run with Peterson. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Peterson. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Palmer. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They start the drive with Smallwood. And some room to work. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, I'm good. Good start for him.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Over the middle, complete. That's Gibson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? The slot man in motion right. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. This one complete to Smallwood. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Tell you what, Brandon, if I see a dime look, if I see 6 defensive backs near the goal line, I'm changing to a running play every time.
And they had 6 there. Surprised he didn't audible at the line?
Very much so. I'm going to count on my offensive line in this situation against the lighter defensive backs and try to push it across the end zone that way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Kenyon Barner, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Elliott now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Elliott now to kick this one away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice gain at 21 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. And they're going to speed things up here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Throwing is Palmer. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The 20, 10, 5, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 46 yards on the ground. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That was very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. To throw is Wentz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Elliott now to kick this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game?
Touchdown, Cardinals! Larry Fitzgerald, 66 yards. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. So here's a big play for the Cardinals as they'll go for 2. They'll let Peterson try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And hello, he's going to be knocked backward as he'll be marked down at the 23. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And the wideout in motion. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They run Smallwood. And some room to maneuver. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They'll run for it with Smallwood. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Wentz to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Chandler Jones coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8, and he motions the wide receiver. Throwing is Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. To throw is Wentz. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One last shot for Palmer. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?